All right, guys, and we're going to jump right into this one. As a solo lawn care provider, the million-dollar question: how much can I expect to earn per day? And I believe that's going to depend on a couple of factors, guys, like the clear obvious: how much you charge it, and how many lawns do you do in a day. But what, to me, I think is more important is how much do you want to make and how much you actually expect to make. And one of the reasons why this was so important for me is even before I got on this journey, I was doing a little soul searching, and I've been working on my mindset for like the past 3, 4, 5 years. And we'll get into that later in the video. I'll give you guys a little bit of a history lesson. See, I've been in the hospitality field before I was doing this for about 15 to 16 years. I've done everything you can do in a restaurant. Waited tables, I bartended. And in the beginning, I was satisfied with it. At the end of my career, my expected take-home pay per day, if I wasn't managing, was about $150 to $175 to $300 a day. But towards the end, that just really wasn't cutting it, guys. And I was working from 9 to 12-hour shifts. Well, then what happened is 2020 came around, the pandemic. I get a call from my district manager. They call us into the restaurant. We have an emergency meeting. They're closing the restaurant. They're shutting it down for business. Everybody gets fired. The irony is before this happened, I was already looking for jobs anyway, because like I said, I was miserable at the time. I was looking for a way out. So in the middle of the pandemic, with everything closing, with a lot of uncertainty for the next couple of months, I had a lot of anxiety, fear, a little bit of depression, just about the unknown. And I really hated my job, like I said, before the restaurant even closed. So I was looking online, really looking at anything I could do to make $1, just trying to figure something else out, trying to start anew. And I came across guys on the internet saying they were making like $400, $500, $600 a day, working 8 hours to 10 hours. Yeah, I remember I was working 9 hours to 12 hours to make $150 to $300. These guys are making 4, 5, and 6, and 8 to 10. And I said that can't be right. But one thing I did say to myself, if it is true, I want to find out for myself. So in the middle of me doing my research, I get a call from my manager at my restaurant. He said, "Hey, we got good news about to open the restaurant back up." I said, "That might be good news for you. That sounds like pain, agony, and suffering for me." So to make a long story short, I politely declined. And I mean, if we were gambling, if we were on the poker table, guys, at this point I moved all of my chips to the center of the table. I went all in. And it worked, and the rest is history. And we'll break it down. We'll get into the numbers. We'll be right back. In the beginning, because you're not going to have that many customers, so what I recommend is upcharging on services. Don't just mow the lawn. Offer to do a weed control, fertilization. Offer to trim the hedges. Offer any add-ons that you can, guys, especially at the beginning. And one of the things I still focus on now is people with really overgrown lawns. Because if it's overgrown, you can charge more than the traditional asking price. And since you don't have a lot of customers, you're not doing a lot of lawns in that day. So it makes sense for me to fill up my day with bigger lawns that took more time and you could charge more money. So that's just a strategy that I came up with in the beginning. And when you're first starting out, guys, don't worry about how many lawns you're doing per day. Focus on how much money you're clearing per day. That's what I used to do. Set goals, and especially at the beginning. Say if I want to do $200 or $300, I would do whatever it took to hit that goal. If I had to add on some services to a customer's lawn, if I had to go next door, ask somebody if they wanted something done, you just do whatever you need to do to keep yourself busy. Because like I said, in the beginning, you're not going to have any customers. And the way to really make yourself more profitable is put your flag in the ground and claim an area. And what I mean by that is wherever you get a lawn, guys, start talking to the neighbors, hand out flyers, put a business card in their door. Like I said, if their lawn's really overgrown, go knock on the door and be like, "Hey, I just worked on your neighbor's lawn. I have a lawn care company. would you like me to do your lawn? To be honest with you, I know you guys are going to be nervous about doing this, but we got a lot of jobs doing that at the beginning. Because sometimes people, it's something they've been putting off, they've been meaning to get it done. And while you're right there, if the price is right, they'll make it work. And also, I've got a lot of referrals like this, guys. So claim an area. Because in the beginning, for me and also for you guys, you don't have any customers. So what I'm going to say, what a lot of guys don't recommend, is take business wherever you can. In the beginning, guys, I had a customer that was like 22 miles away from where I stayed. It took me 35 minutes to get there. But also, I had less than 10 clients at the time. And it was an $85 lawn. It took me 45 minutes or less to do it. And they wanted it done on a weekly basis. So I couldn't turn that down. And I did that lawn for about 4 months. Eventually, they found another kid in the neighborhood to do it because he could do it for significantly less than I could. Because like I explained to him, I was going 20 miles to get there. Another thing, guys, is you're going to have to research in your area to see what the going rate is for lawn service so you can be competitive. If the going rate in your area is $50, $55 for people paying for like 10,000 square foot lawns, I mean, you're not really going to get a lot of business coming in at $75. But if you go in on the lower end just to get yourself established, just to get you some customers, what I would recommend doing is do that to get your first 10. As you start to fill up, I'll always give the new customers that I meet down the road, you give them your new price, the standard price. Give the other customers the option like, hey, we're having a price increase, to raise the price on them. And if they're not okay with that, just drop them and replace them with the new customer and just keep doing that. That's what I do. I recommend raising your prices on an annual basis, but not on all your customers. For the customers that I have that have a little front yard and there's nothing in the back, it takes me 15, 20 minutes to do the lawn, but I tell them, yeah, I got a $50 minimum, I'm not going to raise the price on them. But those people that I got like 2-3 years ago that's been stingy on not wanting to pay any money, saying that all they can pay is 50, 55, and for lawns like theirs, I'm charging 65 and 70 now. I just get rid of them and you replace them with the new people. So that's going to be a way to keep your money coming in and keep your prices high. Another factor is going to contribute into how much money you're going to make is your setup, your equipment. If you're starting off like I started off with the push mower, I mean, you're not going to start off making $400 or $500 a day, especially if you don't have that much money to upgrade your equipment right away. But guys, I want you to think about this in terms of playing the long game. Just because you're not set up to make $500, $600, $700 a day now, think about where you'll be 6 months from now, a year from now. Like, don't be stuck at where you're at, especially if you have a simple setup that's paid for in cash. You don't have a payment over your head, so all the money that you make, you can put in your pocket, and you can look to upgrade your equipment. So guys, think about what your business is going to be, how you want your business set up, and keep that vision in mind. Hold that. Don't worry about what your setup is right now, even if it's simplistic, because it's not going to stay that way. Another thing is, guys, what kind of customers to target. That's going to affect how much money you make tremendously. I'm going to show you some footage right here. These were some duplexes that I did. And I had this brilliant marketing move when I was driving around my area. I said, oh, these are duplexes. If I get a bunch of people in here, they won't take long, and I can make a lot of money quick, and I'll knock it out. I'll get like 10, 15, 20 customers. What I did factor in, guys, is a lot of those customers either A, didn't have the money to spend on lawn care, or B, did want to spend the money on lawn care. And what that led to is frustration, people not paying on time, the cuts being inconsistent, people not wanting to stay on a bi-weekly basis. They want to kind of stretch it out to 3 or 4 weeks. They didn't want to pay extra when they did get the cut, when the grass had been cut in the month. I had a couple people that didn't pay at all. I had to drop them. It was a nightmare. So let's flip the page to subdivisions like this. I never had a problem with the customers paying. And also, I never had a problem with them paying what my asking price was. So guys, you got to keep that in mind. Whenever you're offering these services, you got to make sure that you're offering the people, A, have the ability to pay, and B, are willing to pay. And all these things are going to factor in to how much money you can make. You can make whatever you want. Just whatever your goal is, you wrap your mind around it and you set yourself up to do that. When I first started watching videos about guys doing this, I saw guys making $500-600 a day. And I was like, well, how is that even possible? Because I was like, the way I was running, because my route density wasn't tight, if I did 10, 12 lawns a day, I'd be going sun up to sundown and I'd be exhausted. But what I found out was they were doing that, doing $50, $60 a lawn. What worked for me is I don't do that. I might do like 8, 10 lawns a day, but I rarely do over 10 lawns a day, and I always have help when I do. My sweet spot is around 8 lawns a day. But also, like, I have multiple properties that are like 85, 90, a couple $100 properties here and there. I always have people that want some weed control, fertilization. Every other day or every day, I always have somebody that wants some hedges trimmed. So if I'm doing 65 for the lawn and then I do 60 for the hedges, that's 120. If you add more services and sell more products and upsell on the customers you already have, you'll make a fortune. So guys, go for what you know. Whatever you want to make, you can do it. You just got to put your mind to it. You got to know how you were built. This is a grind. If you're not built to go out here and do this day in and day out, you're not going to see it through for the long haul. My first 2 years, I never stopped on the business. What I mean by that, yes, I wasn't working every single day, but as a solo operator, guys, you never shut off. You know you're not working hard until your family yells at you because every time you're out for dinner or you're on family vacation, you're still taking calls, you're still taking texts. I might be in church and somebody texts me, I'm looking at my phone. I never shut off, guys, because when these people hit me up, if I don't get back to them, I can't close the deal. And if I don't get back to them, somebody like me is. So I was always on. I was always doing quotes. I do quotes 7 days a week. I do them in the rain. I've done them in the snow. Like, I do whatever I can to bring this business in. Because at the end of the day, if you don't bring customers in, you can't make these goals. You have to keep marketing. Marketing is the lifeline of your business, whatever you do. And I recommend to get your first couple of clients, hang out flyers, go door to door, hand out business cards, put ads on Facebook Marketplace, put ads on Craigslist, get you a website, set that up, do bandit signs. Guys, I did all of these and I was up and running in no time because I hit the ground running. I wasn't playing games. I wasn't sidestepping. I didn't have time to worry about, is this going to work or not? I had to put all my energy and all my chips into making sure this worked. And it did. And guys, I want you to do one thing. I want you to do one thing for me and one thing for you. I want you to expect to win. Expect for this thing to turn out right. The one thing you cannot afford to do is to have fear, worry, and doubt. Those things are going to paralyze you and are going to cripple you. What you need to put your focus and your energy into is to research, learning your market, research and energy into your marketing campaign, and learning this industry. If you do all three of those things, you put all your energy and focus in that, and you do not quit, I guarantee you'll be successful and you'll hit whatever goals you want. Guys, I hope this helped you out. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.